Hi everyone. Welcome to your Introduction to Computer Concepts course. Um, I am Sarah Davis and I will be your instructor for this course. I just wanted to point out a few things within the course before we get started. First of all, this first week we're going to just be looking at general things about different types of computers and computer systems. But make sure that you go through and you review the syllabus before you get started. So the syllabus will kind of give you an idea of, what's coming up, what to expect over the next several weeks. If you notice on week 1, you only have a discussion and a quiz, whereas week 2, you do start turning in assignments. So not every week has an assignment, so make sure that you are looking ahead and knowing what you need to get completed, what you need to turn in. Now, for the required reading for Concepts 4 and 6 for this week, you can actually find it within the actual module. So when you're in your module, and mine looks a little bit different than yours because I am the instructor, if you click on textbook chapters, you can go straight there and you can open up a PDF of what's included in the chapters. And I've already opened it up on my computer so I can show you. So we're going to be looking at things like the different types of computers. This week's discussion post is all about using excuse me, using a PC versus running, a Windows system versus a Mac. Many of us have iPhones that are using the Apple software. So I find it kind of curious that most of us don't use that in our real world settings when we're using our desktops or our laptops to do homework, etc. So that might be something to bring up as you're working on your prompt for this week's discussion. So this kind of goes through and talks about the differences between desktops, laptops, netbooks, tablets, our handheld computers, which are our smartphones, and then those big, huge mainframe computers or supercomputers, where we have our centralized storage and processing. I have I work from home for my other job, and obviously, the desktop computer is not something that we use quite as often anymore, so I have a laptop, but I also have a tablet and a smartphone that I work with for my other job. So a lot of it depends on where I'm at and what I'm doing, which one of these I choose to use. Now, this is an interesting picture of the supercomputer. I'm not sure how old this particular picture is, but I do know that where I work, we actually had an entire area of our office was for our supercomputer, for our main computer that runs all of our databases. But it has changed and it has reduced in size tremendously over the years. So what was once several rooms full of computers is now just a small area. They talk a little bit about the personalization of computers, especially when you think about our, the computers that we use every single day, our cell phones and things like that. And then the next section that you're going to be looking at is the different parts of the computer system. So being able to identify what's the difference between hardware and software. What do we mean by input and output? All of those types of things are going to be covered in this next section. There's actually going to be pictures here so that you can go through and look at what exactly is inside of everything. Some of us are great with working with the computer itself, but we don't really know how it works and what's going on in the background. So this kind of explains it or shows you that. And then of course the flow of information. And one thing to keep in mind that your output is only as good as your input. So as you start working this week on your assignments, or next week I should say, keep that in mind that you might be able to find a ton of information about a particular topic, but whatever you put in to your paper, your PowerPoint, whatever your presentation method is going to be, um, that's going to dictate how good your output is. So, and that's going to be with anything going forward. So as you go through this, if you're reading about anything and you have problems or questions, please make sure you let me know. If you have anything that you need at all, you can reach me by phone, email, or text. Have a great week.